This is The Outlook. LGBTI news, views and culture brought to you by NewsHub. Welcome to The Outlook, queer news, views and culture brought to you from right here in NewsHub. And in the studio this week, we have Chris Henry, Stephen Oates and the star of Karaoke Boyz, Kermath. How's it going?
Hi. How's it going?
Are we sunburned? Did we have a great day on Sunday?
Yes, you look beautifully tanned.
I'll be peeling by tomorrow, I think. Did you go along?
No, I didn't go along. I was actually out of town. But the stuff that I saw online made it look amazing. And what a fantastic day. And so stoked that they got great weather after the
weather.
Carnage of last year.
It was probably too hot, I think, actually. Really hot.
That would have been devastating for those that like wearing their shirts for
I imagine on Monday there was a lot of sunburn happening. I spent most of the time just backstage, just sitting in the sun, because I had Murphy, my golden retriever, and I just wanted to keep him in the shade most of the time. And I found out later on my mother had turned up looking for Murphy, and I didn't find out till Monday. I was like, I came to the big day out to look for Murphy. It was too hot for him. I was going to take him home. But I walked around and around. I couldn't see him anywhere, so I just left. But I turned up at the parking lot, because you need a pass to get into the parking area. And my mother said, I turned up into the parking area with the security guards and they tried to stop me, but I said, I'm here to get Murphy Oates. And so they just let me through. So my mother just drove in and parked in, I think, next to the Prime Minister's car or something.
Oh.
I'm here for Murphy. The modern day clipboard. You're able to get into some of the things. All right, Murphy Oates, remember this.
It was Simon Bridges' first big day out, and coverage on NewsHub that night revealed an old clip of the National Party leader in the mid-90s. Let's have a listen.
Oh, I know him, actually. He was a teacher of mine at school. So how do I feel about him being gay? Well, to be honest, I'm not really into homosexuality, but I suppose if he's going to come out and say it, I suppose it takes a bit of guts.
Some people see it as like a gotcha, but it is old, so that's the point I'm making.
It would be a gotcha if it was last week.
Yeah.
It's so old that people change. He was obviously young and naive and
but
silly.
But he did vote against marriage equality.
Yeah, that is an issue.
Yeah, so there's a bit of a trend there.
Yeah.
But it's also that thing, now that he's the leader of the opposition, all of a sudden he has to just support these things, otherwise he wouldn't have a chance.
Yeah, I feel like these old things coming back to bite you is endemic of a wider issue. I mean, obviously he thought that at the time and maybe he was just being a douche, but we're kind of asking our politicians to always be squeaky clean for the whole time, and that's not really representative of the rest of us.
No,
so
exactly.
I feel like we're going to get to ourselves to a point where the only people that go into politics are people who have absolutely nothing to hide.
So boring.
Or so,
that's
straight and white.
That's what I think. When you're a kid, you do dumb stuff, and if it's like 20 years ago, I'm willing to forgive him. But you're right that the voting against marriage equality is still fresh, and that's much more of an issue.
He should when he gets a chance, he should basically say his thought process as to why he's changed his mind now, rather than just saying, hey, no, I support it because I'm the leader.
They didn't do an amazing job at apologising for it. He sort of seemed to wipe it under the carpet.
But also, we want people to change their mind. That's a win for our side.
Yeah.
We lobby people to change their mind. So we need to allow them to change their mind and move forward. It's like, great, you've changed your mind, you've come on side, you've opened up your mind, fantastic, let's get on with it.
And it is, I guess, with really skirting the subject of the centre of a really bad subject here, but the wider Pride event has kind of been about historical actions of people and organisations, and obviously you could go into the history of many people and organisations and companies.
The church,
and you'd find discrimination in many ways, and it's changed. So I don't think you can punish someone purely because of something they did
20, 30, 40, 50 years ago.
That's right.
I think you should just come to more gay events, to be honest. Just kind of come on down.
He should come to Woof the York and Rainbow Dog Show.
Oh, yeah, Karaoke Boyz.
You're convenient.
Apparently Nikki Kay's coming.
Well, I was just going to bring her up. She's very popular at the Big Gay Out, and she was on last week's podcast. She's a lot of fun. I was thinking there's some murmurings about a change in leadership in National. Do you think she'd be good for it?
I don't think she would be that into it at the moment. I'm not feeling that vibe. I think Judith Collins is all over it.
Yeah, I guess she's not as entertaining. She's not holding guns at rifle ranges.
You can kind of hear Judith's nails on the door.
Yeah.
What are you doing? It's almost like Nikki K be further along the path. Like if they were to maybe Judith Collin needs to burn the house down,
Yes.
and then once they rebuild it, maybe she can come in and be a bit nicer.
It's
But they don't need nice versus nice. They need a battle axe to go against
That's
Jacinda.
true.
Is unfortunately what the
Judith
National
is.
Party needs.
Yeah.
But I mean, all this baloney of Judith, I'm not interested, and I'm standing by Simon. It's like,
Oh, it's just so...
TikTok.
She's already changed. It's now to, I'll do whatever my party needs to do.
She's sharpening the knives. They're right in the back pocket. She's ready to shank them.
If that's what the people want.
That's right. Isn't that what Oprah said? If the people want me to run for president, I will.
Did she? No,
Yeah.
she did
I'm
not.
sure she
No, I
did.
don't think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another story that's making the headlines this week comes from the world of cricket, two communities that don't really mix enough, in my opinion. And star English batsman Joe Root has been praised for how he responded to sledging from a West Indies bowler, Shannon Gabriel, who, in an effort to put the batsman off, it's believed he called him gay. And the audio isn't that clear, but basically he says there's nothing wrong with being gay. Don't use it as an insult. I think that's pretty cool, and it's making headlines around the world. What are your thoughts on gay people in sport and that stigma?
I just want to know what sledging is.
Sledging. It's
That
like
sounds
insult.
hot.
Sledging, okay. I thought it was a wider term, but in cricket, sledging is you're hopeless. I've done something with your mum. Like you're
Trying to put people off.
Trying to put people
Right.
off. Yeah.
Sledging.
Yeah.
Sledging. Is fledging?
Sledging.
Sledging. I think...
In other words,
Sledging sounds good.
she was throwing shade.
Yeah, I should rewrite that. Yes.
You've got to put it into our language. No, it's fantastic. I mean, that's what you want. You want people to stand up to any kind of bullying,
Yeah.
racism, sexism, homophobia. And if someone is prominent and in the media or sport or whatever, and calls it out for whatever horrible bullying it is,
Yeah.
it's fantastic.
And I think in perspective, he's the captain of England's cricket team, which in terms of that country essentially makes him the same as an All Blacks captain.
I bet he's going to get an award. Betcha. There'll be some
Oh, yeah, of course.
He'll be nice.
award.
Ally of the year.
Rainbow Ally of the Year. He's going to be at some dinners award in a couple of months.
And he might get a knighthood.
There was something similar with soccer recently as well. I mean, all these sports are quite like manly, but also quite a little bit gay.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I mean, it's running around with the ball, trying to like pull your neighbor's pants down, kind of
Yeah.
thing. Like, it's come on, guys, it's pretty gay and it's pretty hot. So just embrace it, and we'll be a better community together.
I know, it's like, oh, you're a butch rugby player, which means you put your head between another man's legs and try and grab a ball.
Hey, that's the national sport we're talking about.
Wearing the tightest shirt possible.
Yes. Do you remember when Sonny Bill Williams' shirt ripped? And like, I was
The
in-
nation imploded.
Honestly, no, like I was at a pub and the whole place just went.
I think family would have imploded.
Yeah,
Everywhere else would have
notifications
been.
and everything.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. What do you think? Do you think we'll ever have a gay All Black? And
Oh,
why
I-
is it such a big deal?
No,
I can't wait, and I put my hand up. I'm saying I will PR this to the nth degree. If there's somebody that's ready, it would be my career highlight if I
Yes.
could manage the PR for an
Yes, but
All Black.
you actually need to rephrase that question you just asked. You didn't ask the right question.
Out gay.
An
All
out
Black.
gay All
That's
Black.
right.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, I've had a mini. Oh, no, I might not put that on record, but I've had mini a warrior. I'll just take
Honey,
that back.
who hasn't?
I think that we're getting close to it being
Yes.
something that will happen. I mean, and obviously it's going to take a really... Well, the thing with being gay is that you, unfortunately, unlike straight people, have to come out as gay.
All the
And
time.
that adds a whole nother layer to your professional sportsman career. And I think that people that play rugby are not necessarily after the fame
No.
and that being a defining
thing.
character of them. So it's going to take somebody... I don't want to say brave because that's not quite right, but somebody that is prepared to, if they're going to come out, then they're going to have a lot of responsibility to
Totally.
the community, and so they're going to have to be ready
It's
for
the pressure.
that. And
Do they really want that pressure of being the flag waver and the spokesperson? If to be an All Black, you have to be very good at rugby.
Yes.
And your life, all of those All Blacks, their life is focused on rugby.
Yes.
And to be willing to put yourself on the line to become the flag bearer and be the champion spokesperson for the queer community. I mean, it'll be a lot of
do it
pressure
towards-
to do both
yeah,
things.
I think you'd
Huge.
probably have to be towards the end of your career and eyeing up maybe a future in public speaking or some sort of public profile.
Also, you know what does change people's outness is when you fall in love.
Oh.
When you fall in love with someone,
When
you
you
become
fall in
you become a lot more proud of who you are, and that becomes a driving focus in your life, and you stop caring what people think. I think so. If you had an All Black that fell in love with someone, they'd be more likely to come out than someone that was really focused on rugby and wasn't in a relationship
and was just having a bit of cheeky on the side.
Good one.
It's my personal point of view.
There's been plenty of great theatre and comedy during Pride. I think that's probably been the standout thing for the whole festival, is how much there has been. There's almost been too much that we can't fit it all in. And there's another example here with Karaoke Boyz. Tell us about it, Kermath.
It's interesting you say that, because at the beginning of December, it was like there was just no one on the scene. So we were like, oh my God, my co-writer Daryl Wrightson was going to do his Sid and Judy Ginger show at Q, and they well, yeah, cool, and then we all organized it, and we were kind of getting pushback from other shows, and we were like, what the hell, like, it's all of a sudden kind of happening.
What do you mean pushback?
Just kind of from the venue. Then we were almost out of a venue, like we couldn't have the venue because there was other things going on, which was fine, but we tried to strike it early to try and figure out what the climate was going to be because of all this political thing. It seems I don't know, from my point of view, like the rich gays are not coming out because they're trying to just stay away from the whole issue. And it's been pretty difficult from corporates pulling out of Pride from a indirect influence on our end. It's had an issue with sales, and we've had to pump more money into our own campaigns and do stuff that other shows would never have had to deal with. So from that perspective, it's been a bit of a slog. But from the show perspective, I couldn't have asked for anything better from what we have. We were kind of ambitious with how many people we've got. We've got like 9 people in the show. And everybody, because also the fact that we were like, oh, no one's doing a show, let's just put it out there. And we were like, okay, cool. We'll just get nine people. And they've all kind of brought their own little thing towards Karaoke Boyz, which is the backstory of the biggest girl band in existence. So that's that was kind of what happened with the origin of Karaoke Boyz, and I was like, Tom Sainsbury, who's the director, let's put this thing on, and I want you to just help me because I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. Please make it just tighten the thing up. We listened to I don't know, it's the Mix MediaWorks company. Is it
the Mix?
The Mix 98 point. No, it's not. It's an NZME company, isn't it?
We'll
cut that out.
We're listening to The Breeze.
We're listening to The Breeze, and literally for like a week, and just wrote down what was coming to our heads from each song, and our experience from Waikato, and we wanted to pull together this show that made you feel like you were still in that era, but we're experiencing, it's kind of like celebrating karaoke, but also this new girl band that was coming through this from that, it was kind of being materialized through that era as well.
Yeah. So, can I add something and clarify something, because I didn't read anything about it, but when I went and saw it, was it opening night I went to?
Yeah,
maybe?
I think you did. Yeah.
Okay. So
was there a red carpet? I the paparazzi blinded me.
But the thing is, I didn't know what to expect. I was just being pulled along because I went to 3 shows that night. It was like one after the other, and I was kind of expecting karaoke, and it's not actually karaoke. It's actually a musical with a narrative in it. It's a story. It's a musical story. So don't go
thinking you're going to be able to belt out some classics.
No, but in some ways, the title is a little bit misleading.
I know. It's it's like that on intentionally, because I didn't know how else to draw people in. And we were sitting around the table and we were like, shit, this is a really bad title because people are going to think that it's not. And you got this boys segment, which makes it kind of gay, with BOI, the hearts on the I and the Z, but then karaoke, and we were like, I can't really work this out, so we just left it.
Okay. Were there any other names that you thought of using?
I think we had the Karaoke King, which is still misleading.
Yeah.
If I went to a show called the Karaoke King, I would expect a guy to be up there singing one after the other the other.
Right.
But I just want to reiterate to people that it is a full story. It's a show with a story and music in it.
And only an hour.
It's an hour, yeah. So Tom's magical hour. Fantastic. I think more of this should be done. I'm like a huge fan. Every time I've been in one of Tom's shows or done something with Tom, it's always been under an hour, and it's like ADD, just push it all in. And we were really, really when we wrote the script, there were a few things we pulled out and we're like, I don't know if we can. And now I'm like, oh my God, I'm so happy we just ripped this thing to shreds and made it like the bare basics just flowing.
Attention span, that mine is not very good.
Same. I'm like, Jesus, I don't want to be in something that like drags on.
Tom also has a show on beforehand called Status, which is down in the...
Are they on after each other?
Yes, I've done...
Oh.
And Zach...
It's very busy at the
very competitive.
And then there's also Homos in America.
You just run from one to the other. And Zach, who is in it with you, he is in Status. So he's on Status... on early, I think 7:30 or something, and then he runs upstairs.
How long is Status?
In Status, like similar kind of thing, maybe 45 minutes an hour. And in Status for the
interim,
for the curtain call, like to giving his bows. Zach is kind of getting into his next costume.
Yeah, he's literally miking up as he comes off stage. Because
That's
I was
cool.
like, Zach, like tapping my foot. I was like, don't tell Daryl what you're going to do. Like literally, you're going to piss everyone off because all of a sudden he was doing 3 shows. One, the other one I produced as well, and it was just like, I can't. But you're just running Pride, I guess. So thanks, Zach.
But it's amazing that his characters are so different.
Yeah,
in the two shows, they're the
give that to him.
opposite of. The opposite kind of character, and it's amazing how he can jump from one to the other.
Yeah.
So the Karaoke Boyz, it's coming back 14th, 15th, 16th.
Yes,
is that right?
Tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday, and we it's
I think you're giving it a good sell. I think it sounds fantastic. And
I can't wait.
You were saying before that it was difficult to get venue space and that stuff. I take all my head off to everyone that's put things together in this Pride. I mean, the financial risk of sort of putting something into a festival that sort of had the communication like it was not on and it was on, I think is really brave. And I hope people get out in this last weekend and really support stuff, because it is amazing to have this much queer theatre. It's almost just a bit of a shame it's all on at the same time.
But I did 3 shows in one night. You can go and make a meal of it.
You can, and they're all
it's a
different
very
from
valid
each other,
point.
so,
I went. I saw the Legacy Project on first,
and then what was
Status, and then Karaoke Boyz.
Oh.
And it looks like this one's only the only one that's on that afternoon, isn't it?
I know, March the 3rd, 1 o'clock in Western Park.
What's that event? Oh.
Tom Sainsbury is a judge.
I see.
Yes.
He's in everything.
I'll have to keep
What will
it
Zach be doing in this show?
How tight are you keeping it?
He's a poodle. I was going to say I have to keep it less than an hour for Tom.
Oh God, actually. Drags on a bit.
No, we've tightened it. We've dropped some categories.
I just want to
We
say, last week's episode, we spoke to someone about advice for parents of teenagers who are coming out or maybe heading in that direction, and the feedback we got from you about that was amazing, so thanks for that. And we're hoping to have that guest on again because she was absolutely fantastic. If you do want to get in touch with us, there is a Facebook group called News Hub Podcasts. You can email the Outlook at mediaworks.co.nz, or you can leave us a message, 0800 002 898. That's where we say farewell. Stephen, Kermath.
Thank you.
Is that it?
Chris.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to be involved. Thank you for
Boom,
having
boom,
me on.
nicely done.
Like a Tom Sainsbury show.
Short attention span, and we're done. Have a good week.
Our inbox needs filling. Get in touch if you have a story you'd like to tell or a topic that you want us to cover. All emails are kept confidential.